We just watched this video about like Tom Cruise and his stunts, and dude, like I've always thought his stunts were. We can even just cold open this if you want.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me about Tom Cruise.
Okay,
What?
so dude, like I've always known that he's done some pretty crazy stuff, but dude,
Tom
like
Cruise.
I watched like a YouTube collect like someone like did like a narration and they explained like each thing he did and how he like like goes harder each other mission because like basically like Tom Cruise starts off as like risky business silly actor, then he does a few other movies, but then he does Top Gun, which is like an action movie, but then he kind of drops again from the action genre and just kind of does like Interview with a Vampire and like Few Good Men and like all these other movies that just aren't action movies. But then he eventually finds his way back to Mission Impossible. And dude, the whole trend of him doing his own stunts literally starts with in Mission Impossible 1 with the explosion scene where the director asked if he would it'll make this shot a lot better if you just kind of do this. And he does
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And it's crazy. Tina and I were joking about it, like while we were watching it. I was like, it's crazy because basically what Tom Cruise's mantra is like, oh, there's like a 2 minute stunt. I'm gonna go ahead and become an expert in this thing for 6 or 7 months, and then I'm gonna come back and do it. And dude, like every Mission Impossible, like it I've always known he did his own stunts, but to see like the perspective of like he literally like the motorcycle scene where he jumps off of a mountain and like free falls and like pulls his chute in the last 2,000
Yeah.
feet. He did that take like I forget how many like it was like 20 times or something he made them redo that
Steven,
take.
Steven, wait a second. Two things, two things. Thing the first, I've never seen a Mission Impossible movie,
Oh
okay?
dude,
Not even
you
one.
should.
Okay.
You
But just,
should.
wait, Steven, Steven. I always wondered why it was called Mission Impossible because I'm like, isn't he clearly like succeeding every movie? That's why there's another movie. No, Steven, the mission is to kill Tom Cruise. The
It's like
director
Mission
wants to
Impossible. We
murder
failed
Tom.
again.
They're like,
Dude,
they're like, we're gonna get you this
this
time,
is the
Tom. And Tom's
actual
like, I
goal.
think
Like
not.
he is like unfortunately he truly is the predicted to arrive Antichrist somehow. Somehow everyone just worships him at some point in the near future. And yes, we've been trying to stop him.
Oh my
But
God,
but dude,
I love
in
this.
fact, one of the stunts he did was so dangerous that they shot it first because the director joked like, why waste the money on the budget of the movie? We'll just shoot this scene, and if you live, we'll film the rest of this Mission Impossible. Like that was like literally
That's
the
amazing.
consensus going in. Dude, he could hold his breath for 7 minutes because he trained with Navy SEALs for like an underwater scene. Like this dude
I
literally becomes Ethan Hunt. It's whatever his name is,
yeah,
Ethan
yeah, I
Hunt.
think it's Ethan.
Ethan Hawke's the actor, Ethan
Yeah,
Hunt.
yeah.
But he literally is. He is that guy.
I,
Like it's not even like a joke. Like he
I
is.
love that he's living the side quest life. Like he's
It's
just like, yeah, why
crazy.
would I not put I have all these talent points that I've been collecting over the years and I'm gonna dump them in this place. That leads me to a thought that like I had that like I want to talk about this later, but I'm pretty sure there are some people like Tom Cruise that are living in debug mode, Steven. But anyway, we'll talk about that in a second. Let's get to the show. Hello, welcome to We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I am Stevie Wildcard.
And every week, my best friend Stevie Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to overcome the various issues and obstacles and nonsense that life throws our way. We do our own stunts as the world explodes around us in an attempt to destroy us, much like that director wants to kill Tom Cruise. And we try to we do our best to publish books. So we're making novels and comic books and whatever we freaking can. Most recently, Steven, what have we been working on?
We've been working on issue 4 of our miniseries Deathless, which follows the main protagonist Douglas, who's kind of like a 9 to 5, like has no direction in his life, is kind of losing the cool factor of youth. His friend group, falling
Can
away from
relate,
them.
Steven, can relate.
Can
I'm feeling
relate, can
old and
relate.
not cool at all.
And then one fateful night, his D&D buddies are getting together in the living room while Douglas is trying to, go to sleep so he can go to his call center job the next day and work for Ponytail. And his friends actually stumble upon an ancient curse that gives them all super villainous powers and unfortunately chooses him as the guardian spirit to stop said powers. And Douglas is, in possession of Deathless, an entity that has existed for thousands of years, protecting the world from this evil spell. So yeah, it's the adventures of Douglas and Deathless as they try to stop the stones, and he tries to stop Deathless from killing his friends.
Yeah, it's mostly it's a supernatural superhero culty comedy comic, Steve. It's funny, it's silly, it's
Hmm.
full of adventure. We're in issue 4 out of 5. We're so
Hmm.
freaking close. I'm excited to launch our Kickstarter soon. Hopefully, I am thinking at this point, Steven, since it's almost Christmas, we should probably wait till after Christmas because no one's gonna give us any money before Christmas,
You're not
probably.
wrong.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
and we want you to spoil your kids with whatever
yeah,
you need to spoil them with, or just whatever money you need to save. We get it. Things are rough out there.
it's
There are
true.
wild
It's
things in the
true.
world
Like
right now,
I
and
see.
we completely
Actually,
understand.
yeah, dude, it's rough. I will say like I've seen some cool Kickstarters being launched recently, like the demonic potatoes. I saw a book about
Demonic
demonic
potatoes.
potatoes, and it's so funny. It's
I
from
almost
like
want to sing
L.A.
it to the Attack of
Cunningham.
the Killer Tomatoes. Attack of demonic
Demonic potato.
potatoes.
So good. But I saw that they made their goal, so congratulations. If you want to check that out, I'll post a link below. It looks really cool, and like honestly, the rewards are like spectacularly inexpensive, which is really cool and
That's
really fun.
always cool.
But dude, I'm so excited to like get this Kickstarter going. I will say this week, I was like, I don't if you watched last week's episode, you'll see it because this was
The
supposed to
most
be peak.
confident man in the
I'm
world.
like, I'm like, I was so confident I looked insane. Like, I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, guys.
Literally color everything that's ever never been colored. I'm gonna be every coloring book in the world is actually gonna be colored by
I'm
me by
sorry, you're
the
gonna
time we get
purchase a
together
coloring
next
book and
week.
you're gonna be like, what is this bull crap? It's filled in already. It's well done too. No, but I thought I was gonna get a lot done because it was supposed to be the week my son went with his mom, Steven, for the first time in like 7 years. I've had my son. As like basically the primary caregiver of my son for 7 years, and like we have shared custody situation. We've never had any sort of like weird
Exchange situation.
yeah, we've never had a weird exchange. We've never dropped the ball being our son. This week, Stephen, we had a weird communication issue because basically she sent me a text a month ago about like a change of the schedule, and like I didn't even respond to it. It was like this weird, like it was just confusion. It was no one's fault. We both kind of like dropped the ball on it a little bit. And it was just like I didn't know and she didn't tell me, and it was just a bad situation. Anyway, so my son was at school for an extra 10 minutes. And
Oh,
yeah, so the school called me and I was like, I'm
my
on
daughter's
my way,
every day.
Yeah, that's funny. That's but like he's never been through that. So like I picked him up and he was like, like I could tell that he was like holding in the emotion where he's like, "Oh, I thought I was living at school now. This is how genders are made. Like I live in the cafeteria. I eat lunch from the cafeteria. Like I'm a lunch lady now. This is my life. This is who I am. I will protect the children." I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna do at the school forever. But like he really like you could see it in his face where he's just like
He was
this.
getting worried.
Yeah, he was getting worried. So I felt really bad. And, like I had a conversation with him where I was just like, look, one of us will always come for you. I was like, I know I'm
In
usually
10
late
minutes,
earlier.
I mean, I guess if you've never experienced it and you see all the cars are gone from
Yeah.
parent pickup or
And
whatever,
that's
and
what it
then
is. It feels like
I
forever.
get it. But I mean, 10 minutes is a pretty good response time. I mean, that's better than some EMT in this area.
Oh,
Let's be
dude, like,
real.
I mean, we
That's a
live,
pretty good response.
yeah, I mean, we live like right next to the school. So I was just like,
That's
I'm on
awesome.
the way. And like just freaking like sped over there. I like, oh my God. But anyway, like, so I failed this week because Steven, not only was it a week where I was like, my son's going with his mom, where I'm gonna have extra time to work on stuff. It was also the 1 year anniversary of my fiance and I getting engaged. So on Wednesday, it was our 1 year engagement anniversary, which like isn't something we're going to celebrate a lot, but we're like, hey, it's been 1 year. Look at this. This is amazing. We're almost married. This is crazy. And we were like, we're going to go out to like the place where we got engaged, and it's going to be great, and I can't wait. And then we had this weird communication fumble. So I was like, crap. So we ended up going to like the Cheesecake Factory, and
Mm.
we
That
changed.
menu there is wild, by the way.
Even I can't even imagine.
It's
I
the only
can't
restaurant where your
justify.
hand, dude. I can't even imagine their deep freezer refrigerator situation in their prep station. Like I can't even picture.
If you've never
They
been
hand you
to
a book.
Yeah, they hand you a book. If you've never been to Cheesecake Factory, just know that it's basically Epcot. Like go if you're like, I'm gonna see what Epcot's like, just go to Cheesecake Factory. It's the same thing. You're
Hmm.
like, I get flavors from around the world. It's
Hmm.
you know, it's do they do anything great? Yes, honestly, I was going like because I kind of want to make the joke of like, yeah, they don't do there's a jack of all trades, master of none, but like they're okay. It's fine. Like it's all very passable. Like like I enjoyed all my food. Atlas enjoyed.
Hmm.
Everyone enjoyed their food. So, but dude, it was nice to go out as a family, and we all had like a fun conversation. We're like, it was great, but I was like stressed. I was feeling it. I was just like
Well, I know you're very
recovering.
similar to me, where it's like you're a very passive and chill person. As long as the things that were like you've already checked up on, are set in stone and things follow. But
Yeah,
then the moment that one thing is out of place, you're like, oh my God, everything is chaos. I don't know what to do. I'm living in pure.
yeah.
And like, I mean, I'm really good at rolling with stuff, but yeah, that's the only time my mood will shift from like passive Steven to like annoyed Steven is when like things don't fall in place that should have already fallen in place. I'm like,
Mhm.
ah. And I know that's everybody, but I'm just saying, like
Yeah,
me
yeah,
and
yeah.
Bert,
But it's like it didn't have to be this way, but
yeah,
it's this way. Here we
this is
are.
what's happening, and now I'm
And
upset.
yeah, and it's you're given that opportunity to be like because you're. I think what happens is like we split where we're simultaneously living in the past and future and present.
Hmm.
Or we're like, oh, well, this happened here, so why is this happening now? And now what's gonna happen? And we're like,
Yep.
like our tendrils spread out.
We
Like,
need to fuse back into one being,
yeah,
Split
exactly. Yeah.
Stevens.
So, there are various ways of doing that. Stephen, by the way, I don't want to go into it too much this episode, but because I want to read more about it, honestly. But I've been reading a lot about these like government studies about basically like remote viewing and like something similar to astral projection, but not astral projection. Where like people were essentially saying like I can see what's over in that room, and there were like five people who pretty consistently did it under like very rigorous scrutiny in these tests. And I was like, why? How? This is what is happening here? And
Do you send your eyeballs into the room
they
spiritually? I
literally
don't.
like pop and like but dude, it's so interesting because they all say very similar things, and they all do say, and I do appreciate, even if it's like in the most like I mean in the most like egocentric way. I want to feel like if you do it I could do it, right.
You don't have
You're
a gift. You just have a skill,
you have
right?
a
That's
skill
what.
that I can learn, right? Like I don't have to like can I bite you? Are you gonna bite me? I need your blood in my blood somehow. We're gonna
We
fuse.
have a lot of things we have to try here, and I'm gonna be honest, the trial and errors get crazier and crazier as they don't work. So you
Yeah.
better you
Yeah. Yeah.
better
I really
figure it
hope
out.
something works, and you better hope it's the skill, buddy, because otherwise fluids are gonna be transferred, and it's not great. None of it's pretty. But Steven, I from what I've read, they all say they did very similar procedures, very simple stuff that involved like various meditations and like in a specific way, and also just like an opening of their not like opening of a specific chakra or whatever, but like an opening of an awareness, like recognizing like when things are basically when a thought comes to you that isn't something that you created, like you generated, and
I
like
can, and I honestly I can relate to that. Like
yeah.
there are times where it feels like a thought comes from nowhere, and I know it's me, but not me. I kind of
You know,
understand what they're talking about.
I do too. And you know what's funny? When I was younger, Steven, I remember I used to sit and I wouldn't call it meditating. Like I was like really young, like super young, and I would literally just like sit there and like have random thoughts, and then I would stop. And then I would like sometimes like a word would come to me and I'm like, I don't think that was me. Like and I'd be like, I didn't
Mm.
say that, like what just happened here? Like am I filtering something? What exactly is happening? And I don't know. I can't explain it. But I do like that. I like many different theories that I like entertaining with this. But dude, I read about that recently. I want to like
What if it's like a tethered? I mean, I don't know if someone else was in the room, for example,
or
but like, what if it is like a tethered like consciousness, like a stream of conscious, like where we're all like interconnected, through our brain, like we're more of a hive mind than we give credit to, and like, what if someone's in there and they can just like kind of like tap into like someone's presence or something like that, and like view or experience what that person's experiencing. Not, I don't know. Maybe something like that.
No,
But maybe I don't
that's
know if there was someone in that room though. That's the thing. But
I don't either. That's why I said like I want to read more about this and see. And honestly, dude, I kind of want to try it. I want to like put myself through this situation and be like, I bet I could do this. If someone else can do it, I bet I can do it. Why not? Why not me? I could do this. So I was like, maybe I should try this. But dude, I don't know. It could be one of a billion things, and like maybe it's ineffable. Maybe it's something that like we could never describe or explain until we actually like understand it. You know, like but
the coolest thing though would be is if you try to do it, but you don't do it, but that's the way that every human taps into like their mutant ability and like something else happens instead. Like you're just like and all of a sudden, like your fingers turn into long tendrils. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh
what
my god,
am
these
I?
trials are crazy. We need a bald man to open up an institute. We need to start taking people's kids and telling them that we're gonna teach them how to use their powers, but we're gonna militarize them. We're gonna freaking put them into war, is what we're gonna do.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean that really they would just try to make money.
Yeah,
And
no,
you know
immediately.
what I mean? Like immediately they'd be like, how do we monetize this? And then also send some of them as weapons. Wolverine, we're looking at you. But yeah, I don't know. I like I was thinking about like the whole like oh we're in a simulation thing, you know, where it was just like, well, every you know obviously everything's made of a specific type of energy that's, you know, doing various things, like particles that are vibrating at particular frequencies, so much so that there's, you know, mass and stuff, you know? Um, but like, since everything is made of billions and billions of, you know, particles, various elements, you know, atoms that are just shaken together,
Mm.
what if, I mean, that's essentially like being projected onto a screen, right? The various particles of lights kind of like coalesce in various forms and make various bits of matter. So it's like, what if you're able in those states to transcend sort of or like travel through that you know those particles and kind of find other particles and connect to them because they're all connected anyway at some level of magnification, you know? So it's like,
Mhm.
what if that's what they're able to do? What if like right now I'm like, oh, I'm a conscious meat man. Look at me go. I'm a puppet. And then it's like, oh wait, but if I'm able to like break out of this but maintain that thought, I can see like what you said, you know, from the perspective of something else, like
hmm
actual,
Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
saying it has to be a
And
whole other human, but yeah, I can see what you're saying. Like even further compounding, just other living, well, other particles, basically,
yeah.
other
So what if, yeah,
the
so what if
rest of existence, like tapping into the other pieces of existence.
yeah, you know, and I was thinking, so that's what I was like talking about in the you know beginning of the episode, where I was like, well, like what if there are people who are able to do that, and it's sort of like a debug mode for reality, like because there are always people who are absolutely convinced of one thing or another, whether or not they can prove it to people is a completely different subject, you know, like there are people who like I know like for instance, Steven. Now, yeah, it's completely coincidental, right? But feels magical in certain moments when you do things, right? Like there are moments when I'm driving in the car and I'm just like dancing and listening to music, and I literally will do this and a car will just get over. Or I'll like point to a light and it will turn green. Now, do I believe that I can do these things? Yes.
I do believe I did those things. Spider-Man reflex is one of my favorite things. Like when I
Yeah.
just suddenly like Spider-Man reflex catch
Yeah.
something and I'm like not athletic at all. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm
What
Peter
am
Parker.
I?
Y'all need to calm down, man. We're about to have a lot of villains break through this door because they hate me. So I mean it's just
Yeah.
gonna happen.
No, but like we've all experienced like various levels of that like odd connectivity or like the you know coincidences or whatever it may be as woo-woo as you want to get or as like scientific as you want to be with it. Like it's a synchronicity of sorts, you know, and like I you can dismiss it or you can like have fun with it or you can take it too seriously and call yourself like a Reiki expert or whatever the hell people do. You
Mm.
know, like I just like I like exploring it. I think it's fun, you know. And I
I propose that like I say that ghosts are just particles being member berries. Ah, remember this, and then they just show like
that's what
a quick picture from one point in time. Ah, I remember.
So Steven, what if similar to things you see like remnants you see in photographs or even Steven, even Steven,
Yeah.
imagine like like a warped record, you know?
Yeah.
Like we've talked about how like ghosts could kind of be, it's like, what is it, the stone spirit theory or whatever. I forget what they call that. Stone record theory or something. But it's like where sound or experiences could be trapped in, you know, material
Grooves in the,
objects and
because it
grooves.
always is in older homes and stuff, which would have been made of wood, and wood has, I can
Yeah.
see it.
You know, like that's yeah, exactly. But like much, similar to that, like imagine if there is literally like an upside down. You know, not I mean not literally, but there is like another plane that's happening, right? Where our bodies act. I love how much we just talk out of our butts in this show. By the way, I just have so much fun. But Steven, no. But imagine for a second,
No
right?
education,
It
no
doesn't matter. Who
information.
cares?
It's
Who
just
needs
it's
it?
just free
But like,
grabbing.
but Steven, like, okay, basically our minds are, you know, our bodies are just experience machines, all right? We're like organic sense machines, you know? We're just like, I'm gonna take in information here and here and here and here and all my holes except for the one. I mean, it can take in information, spreads it real quick. But but um but
But
sorry.
whole as a whole, like should just not.
No, but Steven, so like when we take in information, you know, we're getting all it creates these like electrical impulses in our brains. What if similarly at the same time, like our bodies in this space, we create like similar responses on the other side? And similarly, what if whatever's on the other side has the ability to create experiences on this side? You know, so like what if instead of like ghosts, I mean, it's just kind of like the flip side of a record. You know, like we're hearing like something that came before, but all it is like the B side. It's like our
Mm.
record is just so thin that it's warped. You know, like it has like ghost remnant, like a scratch. So we're hearing what's on the other side, literally, you know, of the record. It's just
Or
something that
I mean, that's awesome and powerful in and of itself. But like, what if it is something simple as like, it's the multiverse. Like, there's thousands of possibilities. There's
Mhm.
thousands of things that every I've done a thousand things in a thousand different ways through a thousand different universes. What if?
He's seen a million faces and he's rocked them all.
But what if there's just a pairing? Okay, like what if universes are like bonds? Like everything has like a an opposite. So like what if there's just a pairing of universes? Kind of like what you're saying with the upside down, but like
Yeah,
and it just so happens that our universe is paired with a similar universe to ours, but it's set back because like ghosts are always ancient, right? Like what if the other universe is like completely tied to us, but it's just occurring 300 years in our past or its past because it's just offset ever so slightly, but it's a bonded universe. So that's why like the original ghost stories are even crazier like looking beasts, like they're like mythical,
right.
like terrifying animals, creature people, and then like our version is like for some reason it's Victorian. I don't know what it is about the Victorian era, but it just feeds us ghosts
Well,
and like
Steven, in our defense, they literally killed each other because they look like ghosts when they were alive. Remember that story
yeah,
about the guy
yeah.
that if you haven't seen that episode, there's a true story about a man. I don't remember his name now. It's in my book somewhere, but like there's a true story about a man who wore all white. He wore all white and he was like a bricklayer or something, and he went out and his wife was like, "Honey, don't wear all white again. They think you're a ghost and they throw things at you." And he's like, "No, ma'am, this is this is the outfit of the uniform of my trade, and I'll wear it proudly." And he went out and he was
They
shot
think
because someone
you're
thought he was a ghost. Someone thought he was a ghost. So anyway, I'm just saying, like,
and
yeah,
using yeah, I remember the whole thing. Like they used a weapon on a ghost. Like
he
it
used a
was like
weapon.
guns work, baby.
But yeah, it is interesting, dude.
That's actually also where the Iron Myth came from with Ghost, because it's like it was an iron bullet. No, he was just a man, Gary. You just shot a man,
You killed a guy.
a father of two beautiful children.
God, it was so crazy. What a crazy story. Oh, but anyway, we're getting all over the place. You know what, Steven? We weren't supposed to technically talk about anything this episode. I just got carried away, and then you just like fed into it, Steven. That's what we
Episode
do.
done. No, we don't even need
Episode.
to ask questions now.
We don't
No, I'm
even
just
have to
kidding.
answer these questions, but we do. Let's get Steven. Will you hit us with a questions from the colony song? Because we have some questions.
Yes, I will. I'm actually going to harness my best Universe B 300 years in the past version of the song, because there's two guys over in Universe B right now
But
talking in front of a crowd with
have to.
pretend things like, oh, there's these things in the other universe. We've seen the ghosts, and like we're just going to try to do this. And it's like, oh, gather around the Victorian fire while we tell some tales and we ask some questions. And we gonna talk to our friends Anthony and Steven. I kinda did the Wellerman thing by accident, but here we are. Questions from the colony with Stephen and Anthony.
That's,
I kinda did the Wellerman thing.
that was okay. Okay, perfect, Stephen. So
Perfect.
every once in a
So
while,
the two over in that universe, they're not as creative. They don't write their own music. They just actually in that universe, that is the Wellerman song. We just got the first version of that song from that universe since there's so many years behind us. So you're welcome.
so you're welcome. So every once in a while on this very well-planned show, this show that we keep just it's a solid, it's on the rails constantly, Steve. We never deter. No tangents allowed. Just straight from the plans, Stephen. But every once in a while, we let the viewers ask us questions, or just people, anyone online who's like, who I don't know you, but I want to know what you think about ghosts, or whatever you have to say, or whatever you sound like. I don't know you. Yeah, I'm not a cop. But we let you ask us questions, and we're here for to answer the weirdest, wildest, wackiest questions that the internet has to offer. So, Stephen, let's get into it. You know what, Stephen? Let's just start with our good friend Levi. Our good friend Levi asked
Levi.
a very simple question. And they say, well, here, they say, not much in the way of questions. Just wanted to say, you're the best and I miss you. Though,
Oh.
here's a mouthful to stumble through. They don't know us at all, Stephen. Levi does not know that. We will just stumble through whatever nonsense
We
starts.
are very able to take mouthfuls of many things and swish them around, and believe it or not, swallow them. No, I was kidding.
I knew it was coming.
Ingest.
Yeah.
I was like, who do I want to be here today? Which me do I want to be
Which me do
today?
I want to be? Am I going to make these jokes? I actually had that thought, Steven. So today it was cold. So everyone, it's cold. Because,
And like,
obviously, but
I don't want to hear that northerner. Oh, it's cold. It was
no,
41 degrees in
21
South
degrees. Like, let us,
Florida, in
let us
South
have this.
with our
Okay.
Gulf breeze too. So like, imagine standing on one of your Great Lakes up there when a front is coming through. That's what it felt like all day here until the
It
Florida
was,
sun, until the
yeah, it
Florida
was,
sun came up, and then it was like, hey baby, how you
yeah.
doing?
I
But
wore every
41, it
jacket
was
I had.
cold. It was
I wore every
cold.
jacket I had to work. And then on the way home, I was like, I need none of this. Like I just like discarded everything. But the reason I brought it up is because so in the morning I was freezing and I was like, it's gonna snow. I was like, so I said winter is coming. And then I had the thought, Stephen, when I was by myself, I had the thought where I was like, did they say winter is coming? Because snow is just God's jizz? Like, and then
Oh, winter is coming
winter is
all
coming, like
over
all
our
over the place.
bodies. It's
Yeah.
like a full
So
body.
so speaking of like wanting to know which me I'm gonna be this today, like
Mm.
that was one of my first like in the morning thoughts, and I was like, why, brain? I didn't share it with anyone until literally this moment, and I shared it with all like 30
I
people we
didn't
know.
share it with anyone, but now I've shared it with everyone. So,
And I'm sorry. So Levi says, here's a mouthful to stumble through. What is good and what is God?
I mean, I feel like that question is going to be defined very differently by many different people, right? Like, I feel like morality, there's going to be people that have their own sense of morality without a God figure, right? I mean, there's going to be like atheists can be moral. There's people
Right.
that are moral without the influence of their said moral compass. To me, good and God would be synonymous. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like the good comes from that for me, like that's where good exists, and the any antithesis to that would be not good and therefore not of him. That's how I would see it. But I don't answer that for everyone. Like I completely understand that.
I do. No, I'm
Like
kidding.
everyone has a
That's
different version of that.
my God.
There is someone that views Allah as doing the same thing, and there's someone that views, like Moses. Like there's just, I mean, and then there's someone that's just like, no, like good comes from like this, from within, and the things that we do for others, and like without any backing of some sort of moral, being. So yeah, I feel like that question can be answered 1,000 million different ways.
Yeah, I mean. It's literally like the whole Plato's Republic book and like conversation that they were having. They're literally the whole thing with like the allegory of the cave and all of that that people are familiar with. Like that all came from them just trying to figure out what is good. They're like, where does the
Mm,
good come from? And at the end, they're like, like there are
mhm.
various things that they come to, and they all disagree on a lot of things. Um, but yeah, I'm with you, Stephen. I mean, widely it's subjective. And also, when you say what is God, the answer is, I mean, it's wholly subjective. It's like asking who's going to win, Goku or Superman. And
Yeah,
because the reality is, however you define it, it's like a Gnosticism, like, a
we
Gnosticism
all worship
that
something though.
thing.
That's just the truth. At the end of the day, there is something that you put more value into. One could even say that to some degree, even though I am a believer, like I would worship even Kohi to some extent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like we all have something that we frame ourselves with or like connect to, or I don't know. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Anyways.
yeah. I mean, it's tricky, right? I mean, like, what are you gonna do? You knew what you were doing when you asked this question, but the reality is, it's
Mhm.
like good slash God or the North Star of our, our morality. It's the, the thing that pulls us or attracts us to that particular spaceship that we want to be in. No matter how you define that. So it's like that's
Mhm.
it's all subjective.
It really is
But
like that's what I'm saying.
although
Like, and I don't want to, like I said, I don't speak for anyone but myself. For myself, that's what I connect is that's a synonym, that's a synonym. You know what I'm saying? That's one and the same to me. But
I
to
mean,
somebody else, it's something completely different. So,
look, you're only good. You have the right view, right intention, right speech, the right action, right livelihood, the right effort, the right mindfulness, the right concentration. You do unto others. These are good things. You just come on, don't eat shrimp. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I love
But
shrimp though so
God, I love
much.
shrimp. I'll never give them up. I
Leviticus
will go
needs to
right.
shut his damn mouth.
But I like Steven's answer. Steven's answer is perfect for this, and that's it. All right, so let's get to our wonderful friends over on X slash Twitter or whatever, or X Twitter. Ooh, that makes sense, Steven. I can call
X
it X
Twitter.
Twitter, and I'm right. You know what I mean? Like it used to be
Yeah,
Twitter,
it used to be Twitter, but it's also X/Twitter. It's
right?
kind of like the good and God thing, really. I mean, it's just however you define it.
Right. Okay, so Alice Cadence asked, without quoting Monty Python, what is the airspeed velocity of a swallow?
Ooh. No, I actually don't know. I don't know the airspeed.
Steven just good. Yeah, well, I don't know is a perfect.
Green. I don't know.
But like I don't know, it probably like 12, 13, 14. It depends on how high it's flying
How much of a number?
and what is it
What's the scale?
what is it carrying?
13.9?
Is it carrying? Okay, so KT Carlisle, my wonderful fiance, asked, "Do you feel more American having seen two bald eagles today, or is it about the same as yesterday?" Steven,
Dude,
Steven,
dude, when I saw you, because I came to Twitter, because I
yeah,
barely come on Twitter anymore. I'm horrible. I literally, Twitter to me is literally, did Anthony message me to get on for the podcast? That's what Twitter, the app, does on my phone. But I saw that you saw two bald eagles today, dude. I saw two bald eagles today in a
wait,
different
what?
city than you. Yeah,
What?
I saw two. I saw two separate bald eagles today too. Like, how
What?
crazy is that?
That's so wild.
I
Okay,
think they're building
Steven,
their
my
nests or
theory,
something.
no, I mean maybe, yeah, probably. But like my theory this morning, I was like, it's Veterans Day. We're in Florida. Now what I think is happening is they got the bald eagles, they captured them. They're like, we're gonna treat them like fireworks, baby. As soon as that sun starts to come up, we're going to work. We're gonna give them the spirit of America. And they
I
just
feel like this would be like the worst like episode of like a show that like goes crazy. Like they'd be like, "Well, how come we were all seeing bald eagles?" I was like, "Oh, you don't know about the bald eagle factor." And it's like this some really dark, twisted fuckery where you like discover that like they like poorly treat these animals and keep them locked in a warehouse until Veterans Day and release them. And it's like this dark
oh,
twist, and then
they
they eat
started
eagles.
mating. We had too many
There's too
eagles.
many eagles. That's it.
What do you think? What do you think Chick-fil-A is? Why do you think it's closed on Sundays? To kill the eagles.
You gotta
We
kill
gotta
the
kill
eagle.
those eagles.
It's evil. It truly
It's,
is evil.
we kill these eagles. We turn them into nuggets. Monday, You're welcome. They're delicious.
Everyone's like, "Oh, it's the pickle brine." Yeah, it's from the tears of the bald eagles that we.
Freedom, baby. Um, so okay, KT also asked, "Is it hard being the most handsome man alive?" Steven, that one's for you, I think.
So, I mean, I guess if you don't have the practice of being the most handsome man alive, you wouldn't understand the ability to maintain and understand that thought. Um, I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence. No, I was kidding.
She also asked, "Do weebles really never fall down, or do you think you could force one to the ground, like if there was a fire?" I believe in myself, so I'm pretty sure I could keep
Weebles?
people down. Yeah.
Like the Boy Scouts? Just like, you're held down. Those are wee blows, I
I like
think.
that. Those are weebelos, and I'm pretty sure we can knock down at least five.
Dude,
Like,
I think that's like not quite middle school. Is that age range for the Weebelows or whatever? We could totally whoop some Weebelo ass.
oh my God. Okay. Our friend Veronica Faline, Ronnie asked, "What magical
Ronnie.
creature slash supernatural phenomena of procrastination haunts writers, and how do we kill it?" The answer, unfortunately, is we just write, and I hate it, and I know we all hate it, but the reality is you have to do it, and it
Literally what it is, the creature is I've what's the Greek myth name where he's pushing the stone? What's that called?
Sisyphus.
Okay. It's literally pushing that stone, but when you get to the top, it actually does start rolling as long as you struggle for a while. So that's like it's like a good ending for
It's
that, you
it's
know? So like
very true, dude. Dude, I love that because
yeah.
I was gonna say that, but like better. But now that you said that, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna be like, no. But like sincerely though, it really you're so right, dude. Because
It
it's like,
feels like it's that impossible task.
but it's exactly like that. Like there is a sense of like inertia. Like it's like
Mm-hmm.
that object at rest tends to stay at rest, and object in motion will continue
Mm-hmm.
unless operated upon. But like so, it's like once you get it started, no matter how insignificant those steps feel, like you put little word down, you are pushing that boulder, but. You're not Sisyphus, you're a writer, so like you're pushing it toward a ledge and it's going to go down like a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, it might go back up for a while, but then like you keep pushing and it'll happen again. And it's crazy, but like it's
It's
frustrating.
Sisyphus with promise.
It is
Like
Sisyphus for
more
promise.
than he was ever given. Like
Yeah, I mean, because the truth is, it's not a punishment. It's something that you want to do, but one answer is like what we do here is the accountability thing does really help, only because, and not only because, but like primarily because it gives us a deadline. Like even a temporary or like a incremental deadline over time is better than no deadline because it's
mhm.
like the project will fill the space you allow it. So if you're like, I have 3 months to write this, you're not going to start writing this for at least 3 weeks. You're like,
Mhm.
I could do it, and then you'll
We're
do.
all grasshoppers, baby.
We are. It's very true. And it's a struggle, and that's why we all relate to procrastination because we're all guilty of it. But as soon as I mean the good news is as soon as you start pushing that boulder, you're going to feel less like tethered to the comfort of being idle, and you're going to
Mhm.
see that cliff, and it's going to be fun to like jump
It's like when
over
I get home from work.
characters.
I'm exhausted when I get home from work because I work out, I do papers. But it's the sit. So don't do the big sit. Don't do
Mhm.
it. So when I get home from work, my body still thinks I'm working. So it's like, okay, what do we do? And I'll get home and I'll make a full dinner and everything. And then after I've done all that, I'm just like,
Now is the time.
you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So just yeah, just
It's so
find
true.
that momentum and stay in it because yeah, your body will stay in that momentum until it's like the moment you tell your body you can relax and chill, your
Yep.
body's gonna be like, okay, for years, let's do it. Let's
Yeah,
just
yeah, I live here now. This is me now.
I've
Stagnant.
heard of this thing called hibernation that some things do. Should we try it?
I think we should try it. We're trendsetters. All right, let's see. Charlie Mack, our good friend Charlie says, talk about the
Charlie.
spider goat. Steven, do you know about this? Do you know about the spider
I do
goats?
not know about the spider goats.
Okay, I didn't know about this either, so I had to look it up,
Are they
right?
a spider or a goat?
Okay, so what do you think a spider goat is?
So the way it's said leads me to believe it's a goat that has some sort of spider quality, not a spider that has a goat quality.
Fair.
So I'm gonna assume a spider goat is, I have fucking no clue. Maybe it's like they like take the farmers like twine and they like make like goat webs and then they like capture other farm creatures in their
I
spider
wait,
goat webs.
even when I first read that, I thought exactly the same thing. I was like, oh, these goats are creating some sort of web somehow, or like doing something. They have fangs, or maybe they have other limbs. This is what happened. They're genetically modified slash bred goats that have a particular protein that spiders have for their silk. And scientists have done this so they can commodify and like produce
Because
the
spider silk
spider
is like a
silk.
commodity. Like it's a pretty like it's a.
And it's just so hard to get it from spiders. So it's like the protein is
I
valuable
imagine
for their
spiders are like the cats of the insect world. Like they're not going to just produce webbing for you.
no,
Like, it's like
no,
come on, like
they're
they're going to
crazy.
knock your water bottle over and they're going to.
They're cannibalistic. They're violent. They're like they're insect. They're I mean, you know what? They're arachnids. They're crazy. You know, so it's like you can't trust that to give up their butt juices. I don't think so. Not in this economy, pal. So anyway, that's why
You
they
got
got
to
they
pay a $5 monthly fee for that, buddy. It's a subscription now.
I love the OnlyFans Spider Silk situation we have going on. Okay, so we have CJ Simone asks, "What's been the best and worst parts about self-publishing for you?" What do you think, Stephen? What have been the best and worst for us for our books?
I think literally the only difference between self and what self the positives of self-publishing is like obviously to some detriment your own like release schedule, especially when you're someone who is not able to fully make money off of that craft yet. So you have to like kind of be responsible and raise children and do stuff. So we have time to produce our own books. I would say the one weakness of it is exposure, right? Like if we had a publisher, we would have exposure. That's
Well,
like the one thing.
you know what's frustrating, Stephen? It's the exposure and also the like illusion of credibility. You
Yeah,
know,
to some
because
extent.
like imagine, Steve, like you and I can make a publishing house, right? And if we, we take our friends' books, the ones that we truly believe in that are the best books to in our opinion, um, and we put them all under one umbrella and we say, like here they go, like here are these books. The more people read all of these books and see this particular name and identify like the quality of these books with this particular name, now suddenly there's a credibility there, right? But it's just we're still just two guys who had opinions and like we're just choosing these books and and here's the thing, like those are just it's a small sampling of it's toilet water next to the ocean. Like there's a huge amount of writers out there and creators out there creating things that just simply haven't been discovered by people who've created that publishing
Hmm.
house yet. So it's not that they're not good enough for that publishing house, but that they haven't been discovered by them. And also combined with the fact that so many people are submitting to these houses that everyone's just being filtered out. Like
Hmm.
it's becoming a ridiculous system. Like the whole like traditional publishing system is very scary and weird, and it feels like a pyramid scheme, much like everything else. So it's like I don't know. I people believe in those voices though. They see it, they're like, "Oh, obviously this is like a tested thing. They have merit for whatever reason." And so like I'm going to buy whatever they put out, whatever it may be. It's like, "Oh, that has a Penguin Random House like sticker or like emblem on it. It means it's probably better than one that doesn't have that." So it's
Hmm.
like I get that like you have that like familiarity which sometimes will make people buy things. I think you and I struggle because we're not those people. Like I think like
Hmm.
like I don't care where something's published. Like if Coheed and Cambria created an album all on their own with no record label whatsoever, I'm gonna buy it. Like I'm going to
Yeah.
listen to every single song they put out because I love them as creators. So yeah, so I don't know. So the struggle is very real with trying to like compete, so to speak, with people who are traditionally published and trying to find a platform and be heard. Like right now, you're like, if you made it this far in the video, thank you. We
Hmm.
love you and we're so
Incredible.
thankful for you. It's
Great
incredible because
job.
this is a very long
Him and Eric.
episode on in a show in which two best friends just talk to each other about crazy nonsense and goats and ghosts and ghosts and all kinds of nonsense. So the fact that you made it this far is incredible, but also not a lot of people will, and like but here's the thing, Stephen. If I take the money from Patreon, which I've been doing for, like when you can see the episodes where I can afford ads, right? So I take the money from Patreon and I buy ads for episodes when I think it's a pretty good episode or pretty funny. And we got 2,000 views, right? And then I do it again and we get over 1,000 views.
Just need
So
the
it,
exposure. Yeah,
but here,
it's
but
literally just money translates to exposure.
money
And
translates to exposure because, and then if I don't, like for instance, look at last week's episode, we got like 30 views, you know? And if we don't do that, we have to rely on ourselves to go on Twitter, X Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and whatever else and share this show and hope people see it. And we can't even like we can't change anything based on whether or not people view it because really what are we gonna do? Like, it's not the quality of the show that's making people watch it. Sometimes it's the length, I think, but that's I don't care. But it's just so funny, you know. You never know, how to get that particular exposure, but that's part of the problem. So yeah, that is one
mm,
of the big issues with with publishing yourself.
independently versus yeah.
So that's a struggle. What do you think is the best thing?
About independent
Yeah,
work.
about like what we've been doing. I mean, I guess we have
Control over your characters. Like I
yeah, we
guess
have
like in
complete
the in
freedom.
the in the odd one chance off that some companies like discovers your book or discovers your
Yeah,
character and you're the only person that they have to talk to about creative control and things
yeah,
like that. You literally own everything about it. So like
it's true. And dude,
there's no
like,
cuts, there's no nothing. I mean,
no, like
and that's the trade, right? That's the trade-off. Like
like
yeah,
I made this book. This is a perfect example. Like our comics are I like to think like Deathless could be published by Image Comics. Like
mhm,
it's a good book. It's well made. It's a fun book, and I think that they could publish it. No one's gonna publish this book. This is the silliest, most ridiculous book. It has talking food in it. It's a crazy book with gore and nonsense and just like silly puns. It's hardly a novel. It's mostly like a popcorn movie, and I hope people like it. I hope some people like it, but. I know like the odds of that book in particular being traditionally published just negligible. Like it's insane. It's crazy. You know, like it's and not like, oh, it'll never happen, so I'll never try. I do a lot of things that might never happen, but I'm gonna keep trying forever, you know? But I just like that's not that juice isn't worth the squeeze to me because
mm-mm,
that's just how the difference between traditional publishing versus independent publishing. I felt like I can do this myself, and no one else is. I don't want anyone's permission to make this book. I like this book. I believe in this, and I'm gonna do it. And that's what I
mhm.
like. You know, I think that's what's best about independent publishing. So let's see. Then we have. Okay, hang on. Let me see because I know there are a couple here. Maybe too many here because it's late. All right, just one. Oh, okay.
We'll do
We
one more and then we'll carry the ones over to the next week's episode.
Okay, yes. Okay, one more. We have the last question is from the Rat King. Is Steven it's for Steve is it Steven or Steven? It's Steven with a PH.
Mhm.
And then Steven, I want you
You
to
say
answer.
my wife's name right. No, I was kidding.
Steven, I want you to answer this because it's for you. Which is better, his French
Okay.
or his Wookiee? That's the question.
Ooh. I can count to 10 in French,
Okay.
but can I do a Wookiee impression?
Can you count to 10 in Wookiee though is the question.
Uh,
I think that's like 100. I think you just counted to like at
I
least
think I
50.
can. Yeah, I mean that's a Wookiee machine gun from what that's what they call it, the Wookiee machine gun. Can I still count to 10 in French? Hold on. Un, deux, trois, cinq, six.
Cat
Nope.
thing. Yeah. Okay.
I can count
So
to like 1200 in German. If that's
okay, yeah.
yeah.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
She's pretty fluent in French. It's so yeah, so my fiance is amazing. There's that. It's at the end of every show, Steven. We're done with our questions. At the end of the show, let's get out of here. I can go watch some Stranger Things with my fiance, and you can have fun with Tina and the girls or whatever. Let's do this. Steven, what are we gonna do this week?
I sent you some roughs that I did of the next page. We're in some heavy action sequencing going on in issue 4. So yeah, I'm gonna finish that page and do another page. That's my goal this week.
Heck freaking yeah. I'm gonna freaking flat 2 pages this week, Steven. 2 of them. I'm gonna two, and I'm definitely going to do it 100%. 100% I'm gonna do it. I definitely
I
will.
believe in you.
I believe in me too. And I believe in all of you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for supporting us
We love you
endlessly,
guys
tirelessly.
so much.
Oh my God. Thank you for making it to the end of the show. If you are here, first of all, just comment below. Let us know that, anything. Just say anything
Give
to
us
us.
your best Wookiee roar in the
Yes.
comments.
Give us in the comments. Try to spell out the counting of 1 to 10
Brr.
in
You can
Wookiee.
hit. I'll accept burr, BR, and just a bunch of R's. I'll accept that.
But just know that we love you and we're thankful for you and we really do appreciate you week after week. But until next time, I'm Anthony,
And I am Stevie Wildcard.
and this has been We Have Issues. We'll see you next week.
Boom, 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 boom.
Steven, for the post, do you remember when Brandon was doing that and he jumped over the couch? Do
He
you
was like
remember?
really little.
Yeah, he was like 10. Do you remember this? Okay. So Brandon, again,
My
oh my.
little brother.
But yeah, so Steven's little brother is in the house and he's just going boom, 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 boom. And I remember like looking over, like we're playing Halo on the couch, and I'm just like, what is he doing? And he runs from through the kitchen, jumps over the couch, and mind you, this is Steven's little brother was not athletic at all, not even a little bit. Um,
He's
so
got my athleticism.
so he makes it halfway over the couch and humbles and falls with like his leg like awkwardly, and he's just like pinned between pillows and a cushion and just like and I'm looking at him, I was like, "Are you stuck?" And he goes, "Your little brother looks at us and goes, no, I'm flexible. Of course I'm stuck."
That was where, yeah, dude, I'll never forget that line. No, I'm flexible. Of course I'm stuck.
That's where that came from. Yeah.
That's
He
gold.
was
I didn't
doing
know
the
there was
world.
the Mission Impossible lead up to it.
It was so good, dude.